Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, William Samoei Ruto is now willing to speak with Raila Amolo Odinga, and he is inviting Raila Amolo Odinga for a conversation. Though, according to Azimio or ODM side, we will say Azimio, he has not formally wrote to Raila Amolo Odinga for that formal invitation. But we have seen him sharing that tweet on his social media handle, telling Raila Odinga that he is departing to Tanzania for some function, then he will be back in the country and he is free and willing to meet with Raila Amolo Odinga, sit down and discuss the issues they feel that are of importance. I want us to check on that tweet and what are Kenyans saying about this. We want to look into that. But again, there is something Raila Amolo Odinga said when in the press briefing. He said that the Tanzania President Mama Samia Suluhu, she was in this country for 2 days, but Ruto frustrated that talk, and she had to go back to Tanzania silent. So no one knew that the Tanzania President was in this country if Raila had not disclosed this. But then I was checking on the reaction from the Kenya Kwanza side. If you check on what they are talking about, in view of the Raila Amolo Odinga's remarks, then it's a kind of asking that, what was the importance of Mama Suluhu Samia coming to this country? You know what they are asking? That was the Tanzania president coming to this country to lower the cost of living, or what is Raila Amolo Odinga telling people? Because of this, we have also to check on this very carefully. And I want to read this tweet from Ndindi Nyoro. This is what he said. The opposition has been purporting that the demonstrations are because of the high cost of living. The question we are asking Raila is whether the said dialogue with the president of Tanzania was in regard to how unga will come down, or who gets what in terms of power sharing. They are shifting the conversation. But look at it on this angle. Kenyans went to the street, they were demonstrating because of high cost of living. Number two, finance bill. Then the issue of IBs comes in, Yurasan Yachama. Then the issue of servers come in, and the poaching of members of parliament from political parties. Two things ya Wakenya wote. Hizi ngine za Azimio. So mambo yote tano waeka chini, mambo ya finance bill start afresh. Cost of living should come down. Chama kuacha kuiba wabunge. IBC na saba. Now, one question we will ask Ndindi Nyoro, and those who think like him, because I've seen Dennis Itumbi leading in this, we know he's good in propaganda, and all of these guys, one question we are asking them here, when Kenyans went to the street to demonstrate, who called the Tanzanian president into this country? Who called Mama Suluhu Samia? Is it Raila Amolo Odinga or William Samoei Ruto? And if it is William Samoei Ruto, then Kenya Kwanza should be answering this question by the fact that Ruto invited the Tanzania president. Is he telling us that he was going to lower the cost of living by inviting the Tanzania president? Because the Tanzania president cannot come here on her own invitation. Especially when we have this kind of, political infight here between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, then cost of living. For now, the opposition cannot invite her, then she cannot. But with only the invitation of the president. Hiyo ndio wakati anaweza kuja. Hiyo tu sasa kama amecheza smart. So with all this, we know that it was William Ruto who invited the Tanzania president. So he should come out and tell us, was he planning to have a dialogue on power sharing or cost of living by inviting Tanzania president? Sasa kulingana na kama maneno ya Ndindi Nyoro amesema ni ukweli, kuuliza Raila hivyo, basi hili swali ni Ruto linafaa jibu. Alikuwa anapanga kugawa power ama ni nini? We leave it at that. I want us to go to the tweet that Ruto shared, then a reaction from Kenyans and our views, and again, we also check on other leaders, what they are saying on the same. My friend Raila Odinga, I'm off to Tanzania for a human capital meeting to harmonize the expansion of employment opportunities in our continent. I'm back tomorrow evening, and as you have always known, I'm available to meet one-on-one with you anytime at your convenience. William Samoei Ruto. Huyo ni Ruto. Then he left. Now, after this post, I have been checking on several individuals. Rigathi Gachagwa, Kimani Ichung'wah, Ndindi Nyoro, Dennis Itumbi, Moses Kuria, and the rest. Gachagwa is trending. The question is, why is Gachagwa trending? And why not Uhuru or Raila or Ruto? That is the big question. Another question is that, what are Kenyans' views on this invitation? Before we answer this, just a quick request for those who are watching and you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, first of all, let me read some of the views from Azimio leaders. This is what they're saying. This is Otiende Amolo. There is difference of thoughts between President Ruto and DP Gachagwa on the idea of a dialogue with Raila. The president's side is fearful of any dialogue that takes us to 2022, but want to have a dialogue about 2027 for legitimacy purpose. While the deputy side think that any sort of dialogue might put them in a jeopardy in the future. So Ruto think that they have to discuss 2027. So we are to legitimize 2022. But not discussing 2022. But you know, Raila Odinga is talking about Saba. That means 2022. 2027 is IBC and the issue of poaching. But now Gachagwa totally do not want any conversation because they feel that they will be jeopardized. I agree with this statement. Ruto anataka waongee mambo ya IBC, that is 2027. Lakini Gachagwa hataki kitu yote ya kuongea. Na Azimio nao wanataka waongee mambo ya Saba 2022. But again, Caleb Amisi, he has advice for Raila Odinga. This is what he's saying. Raila, remember who you are dealing with. Be smart and maximize on wisdom. Make it simple and straight to the point. Avoid any form of handshake like a pledge. Be rough and tough. Remind him the streets are open and the constitution is alive. You have my blessing. That means he is endorsing, but he is giving advice to Raila. Kenyans.co.ke launched an opinion poll, online one, and it's asking for people's opinion with one question they're putting up here. Do you support President Ruto's move to invite Raila for a talk? Hashtag Kenyans poll. Yes, no, just two options. So far, 3,783 people have voted, and that is 1 day ago. It means many people are not interested in this, because as of now, when they launch like this, it will have like 10,000 votes, but 3. Those who are saying yes, 53%, no, 47%. The difference is merely 6%, so it's very small. Seemingly, the country is still divided on whether Raila and Ruto should meet. And this is coming from both sides. The headliners in William Ruto's side, Akina Gachagwa and the team. And then Raila Odinga's side, and then Kenyans also feel that if Raila go into this handshake or a talk, it might end up in a handshake. And if so, then they will suffer. They will suffer. Now, I have checked on the reaction from Ndindi Nyoro. He was asked this question in one of the shows yesterday night. And his view was that the president has not invited Raila Odinga for maybe a handshake or so, but he's simply saying that State House is open for anyone to go there. Really? State House is open for everyone. You might be right, but is it easy to get appointment to State House without the knowledge of the president? And there's no. These people are living in denial. Ruto is between the rock and the hard place. Governing this country is not a joke. Stabilizing the shilling, cost of living, economy, and the debts. All these things are facing him. What he needs is a dialogue, whether they like or not. And this is the reason why Gachagwa is trending. People are saying that Gachagwa, he was one of the most hardliners in Kenya Kwanza side. Ndindi Nyoro, Ichungwa, Kimani, Moses Kuria, and Dennis Itumbi are the same. Even when you check on what Kimani Ichungwa is talking about this dialogue, they're bringing in the issue of unga. Wanauliza sasa dialogue ni ya unga ama ni ya nini? Those are the questions. They are both not comfortable with this because their focus is to keep Raila Odinga away, Azimia away. Their interest is Kenyans should suffer, and their focus is after Ruto, then they are next. And they feel that when Raila comes in, Gachagwa kicked out. Now, the reality is that Azimio is also not looking for a handshake because they have interest in 2027, the general election. Uhuru handshake with Raila was easy because Uhuru was not looking for any other term. Uhuru was going for retirement. But Ruto is looking for the second term. There is possibility Raila might be on ballot or he might support a candidate. So you cannot go into a handshake then hope that your candidate will win or you will win when you go to ballot. Azimio do not want this. But Gachagwa and the team strongly feel that that's what they're looking for. It's not so. Cost of living must come down. The discussion about IBC must be dealt with. The discussion about poaching of members of parliament must be dealt with. And if possible, server issue should be discussed. That is what these people should be discussing. But again, what we can say on this pipeline, the way Ruto has been behaving, it is good if there is any dialogue that Raila want to have with him, aende na timu yake. Hadi kiwezekana huyo Ruto akuje na timu yake. I'm saying so because you see, trusting Ruto is also another problem. Kuwa na mtu mwingine hapo wa pili na watatu mwenye anakusikizia hiyo mambo. Lakini Ruto mtaongea na yeye hivi, baada ya mwezi mmoja akishapata ile kitu anataka, anaruka. In the first place, when they called about bipartisan talk, walisema cost of living is on that list. But Ruto came out and denied that cost of living was not part of this. Look at that. So, the dialogue should be about cost of living. Akikataa kushukisha unga chini, mambo ya finance bila katae nayo, back to the street.